when the clock at the Estadio Olympic Lewis Company Stadium hit the 91st minute. An almost absolute silence enveloped the normally vibrant stands. The score was 1-1, a result that could be acceptable for both. A temporary handshake between the two giants of European football. Barcelona seemed ready for a point. But that was when PSG decided that they did not come here to share points. The reigning champions came here to affirm the position of the king. In that moment, Achraf Hakimi received the ball in a space that was ridiculously vast, behind the Barça defense, and Gonçalo Ramos, with a cold-blooded shot, turned the silence into mournful lamentations. PSG won 2-1, not just a comeback, but also a punishment for the opponent's arrogant risk-taking. This match, even before it began, carried the echo of a missed final from last season. The whole world had envisioned a supreme showdown between Barça and PSG, but the Catalans stumbled against Inter Milan. This confrontation was therefore seen as a fateful rerun. And it did not disappoint the fans. Although it was not a perfect classic match, it was a battle of wits between Hansi Flick and Luis Enrique. A confrontation between the philosophy of total attack and the cold, pragmatic approach of the conqueror. And in the end, the victory belonged to the one who knew how to exploit the opponent's weaknesses ruthlessly. To understand why Barcelona lost, one must look at the core philosophy that Hansi Flick is building, a defensive system with an extremely high defensive line. Even Luis Enrique, the coach of PSG, had to admit in the pre-match press conference that he was thrilled with this approach, because it suited the football philosophy of FC Barcelona. They are not complicated. They attack, they press, and they play with a sky-high defensive line. The departure of an experienced organizer like Inigo Martinez did not change Flick's mindset. Statistics show the average height of the Barça defense remained almost unchanged. This gamble has two sides, and both were clearly exposed in the past 90 minutes. The positive side led to the opening goal in the 19th minute. The high press system immediately activated when Vitinha made a rare misplaced pass. Lamine Yamal seized the opportunity, initiating a lightning-fast attack. The ball was transferred to Marcus Rashford on the left wing, and the English forward provided a perfect one-touch pass for Ferran Torres to rush in and head the ball into Lucas Chevalier's net. This goal is evidence of the benefit of condensing the field and suffocating the opponent's playing space. Throughout the first half, PSG only had 43% possession, their lowest figure in the Champions League. Since the loss to Arsenal last season, their short passing rhythm was disrupted, and they looked awkward under the home team's pressure. However, the flip side of this gamble was a fatal Achilles heel. For a team possessing fast wingers, skilled and capable of breaking through like PSG, a high defensive line always carried the risk of being punished by passes or a well-timed dribble. And PSG exploited it perfectly. Not just once, but twice. The equalizer in the 38th minute is a typical example. Nuno Mendes from his own half executed a simple 1-2 with Kylian Mbappé, then accelerated, tearing through Barcelona's midfield, creating a 3-on-3 situation in the opponent's final third. If the first goal conceded was a warning, the second goal conceded was a verdict. In the 90th minute, as Barça were preoccupied with finding a goal, they forgot their fatal weakness. The high defense left a vast space behind. Achraf Hakimi comfortably received the ball and delivered a simple cross for Gonçalo Ramos, who made a clever run to stay onside to seal the victory. Both goals conceded came from the same scenario, a weakness in defending against breakthroughs from the second line, especially from PSG's two full-backs. If the match was a game of chess, the duel between Lamine Yamal and Nuno Mendes was a miniature individual battle, a peak performance of two of the best young talents in the world, in their positions. This is a contest that fans will talk about for years to come. Yamal, at 18, proved he was born for big matches. As early as the second minute, the golden boy of Spanish football had a classic solo run past 5 PSG players, including a surreal turn to get past Vitinha and Bradley Barcola. He finished the move with a delicate through ball for Ferran Torres, but his teammate missed the chance. A few minutes later, Yamal again unleashed a classy outside of the boot pass, tearing apart the opposing defense, but this time Torres' shot was excellently saved by Donnarumma. Yamal was also the one who initiated Barca's goal, with a press and a steal from Vitinha. However, Hansi Flick has repeatedly emphasized that attacking is only half the job, and Yamal received an expensive lesson about that. When reviewing the tape of Majolo's equalizer, one can see Yamal was still walking on the other side of the halfway line, long after Nuno Mendes had begun his raid. That was a moment of naivete, a reminder that at the highest level, a moment of distraction can be costly. On the other side, Nuno Mendes delivered a near-perfect performance, a testament to why he is considered the best left-back in the world. The assist for Majolo was a masterpiece of speed, technique, boldness, and spatial awareness. Starting just outside his own penalty area, in a situation that seemed harmless, Mendes turned it into an adventure. He darted like a fighter jet, the nickname Luis Enrique gave him. Dani Olmo, Frenkie de Jong, and Josu were all left behind. Mendes' performance wasn't limited to that one moment. He defended solidly, passed intelligently, and always made the right choice in the final third. However, he was also somewhat fortunate to have only received a yellow card in the first half after fouling Yamal. He fouled the same player again in the 60th minute. The Barca players believed he deserved a second yellow card. They had a point if the referee had been stricter. The story of the match could have been different. But in the end, people will only remember his genius assist, a match-defining moment. While the duel between Yamal and Mendes stole all the attention, PSG's victory was also built by another silent hero, Achraf Hakimi. The Moroccan right-back had an excellent game, with 9 touches in the opponent's penalty area, the second highest number for him in the last 2 Champions League seasons. He was the one who was there at the right time to make a desperate clearance, blocking Dani Olmo's close-range shot, saving PSG from a certain goal, and he was the one who delivered the decisive pass for Ramos to score. The wing pair of Mendes and Hakimi was the destructive weapon that Enrique used to penetrate Barca's fatal weakness. For the home team, they had a small but bitter consolation. Ferran Torres' goal helped Barcelona set a new club record, scoring in 45 consecutive matches across all competitions, breaking a record that stood since 1944. Since the 0-1 loss to Ligens in December 2024, Flick's machine has never failed to score. Their attacking power is undeniable, with a star-studded forward line including Yemo, Torres, the injured Rafinha, Olmo, Lewandowski, and now Rashford. The English striker on loan from Man United has integrated well with his movement and excellent vision. However, this record becomes meaningless when they cannot defend their lead. It shows a harsh truth. Barcelona can score against any opponent, but their defense can also be exploited by any opponent as well. This match is a painful proof of the imbalance between offense and defense in Flick's squad, and ironically, the one who ended their unbeaten run since the start of the season is Goncalo Ramos, with a goal that also made history. The winning goal in the 90th minute away from home, the first one Barcelona have conceded in their European Cup history. Ultimately, despite moments of brilliant football and a thrilling goal-scoring chase, this match probably won't be remembered as a classic match. The absence of key stars on both sides reduced their power somewhat. More importantly, the nature of a group stage match did not carry a life or death risk. This is not a fatal knockout blow for Barcelona. However, it will be remembered as an important milestone for PSG, an affirmation of the champion's medal. Luis Enrique proved his tactical superiority by recognizing and thoroughly exploiting the opponent's weakness. PSG accepted being inferior in the first half, but they patiently waited for their chance and launched fatal counterattacks. This is a victory of pragmatism, of the ability to punish mistakes, and of the competitive spirit until the final seconds. As for Barcelona, this is an expensive lesson. Their philosophy is beautiful and soaring, but also full of risk. To progress far in the Champions League, Hansi Flick will have to find a way to balance the romance in attack and the solidity in defense. Otherwise, the scoring records they create will only be unfinished symphonies. In the regret of defeat,